Welcome to the social circle where creators come together to turn ideas into impact and goals into a reality. I am Candace, and this is
Jennifer, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in time right now. By the way, I just have to do this shout out. If you are a Stranger Things freaking fan, I'm about to go read Wrinkle in Time because I don't understand that.
Kids are
Anyway,
obsessed with Stranger Things, and they try to talk to me about it, and I'm like, yeah.
oh my goodness. I've been waiting for like a whole year for the season that just came out, and I now need to go educate myself on some things because I'm a little bit confused. Speaking of time, right? That's what
Yeah.
brought that mindset out there. But it is near the end of this year, everybody. We are coming to a close of 2025, December
Which is
1st.
crazy.
Where did
So
the year
crazy.
go? Holy cow. It was just January 30th the other day.
Right?
I'm
I
just
know.
living blink to blink at this point.
That's for real. I mean, this is our 30th episode.
30 episodes, guys. Thank you for
30
being along with the
episodes.
ride. I'm
Yeah,
hoping it
thank
has
you.
been a good one for everybody because I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed working with you, Candace, learning all of the
Same.
good things. Thanksgiving just ended, so I'm feeling in this very grateful, thankful mood right now.
I love it. We are thankful. We're thankful that it's our 30th episode that we are doing it.
I'm
And we
glad
are
I jumped
coming in
into this
hot
with
next
you.
year, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming in
Yes,
hot.
ma'am. Ready.
Speaking of all of this end of year stuff, right?
Yep.
What we want to do today is like a real recap of 2025, and not just us, like what we've done, but in content creation and in the business that we're in, the reason you guys are listening, what worked, what didn't, what are some of the things that we thought would work and did not, and vice versa, right? Because there was quite a
Right.
lot of that for
Oh, yeah.
me.
And that's the name of the game with entrepreneurship. You got to fail forward. You got to make the mistakes to know what's going to work and what you got to pivot at some point if it's not
Yeah.
working. And we're
Yeah.
definitely going over some of those topics right now.
Let's talk about things that you were surprised by this year, Jennifer, in your content. And I think for me personally, I'm a little bit surprised at how much easier content creation has gotten for me. I could think back to January where it would take me, oh my gosh,
Too long. Too
an
long.
obscene, an obscene amount of time
Yeah.
to edit a video and post it. And we're talking like a 7-second video, guys,
Right. Yeah.
and I think that I I don't want to be surprised by it because I know that when you do something over and over and over, right, you're going to get better at it because you're trying to get better at it. So I think
Yep.
that has really surprised me just personally how far I've come in my content creation journey in this last year.
Heck yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. And I'm with you on that. I think what has surprised me is just the fact of how many times I have said I'm walking away, but I come back for more because I'm still in my head thinking I'm still missing something. So I have to
Hmm.
figure it out. My analytical brain will not let me quit, which I'm very thankful for that because if I had quit, I wouldn't be on this podcast with you. You'd be off doing something different, I'm
I
sure.
I wouldn't let you quit, girl. I wouldn't let you. You know that. You know that. I'm
Honestly,
not letting you quit on me.
I'm not quitting on you, and I'm not quitting on me, and I'm not quitting on any of our listeners today. When you're going from not knowing what you want to do to figuring it out, it's a great light bulb moment. Those aha moments I loved personally, like when me and Candace go back and forth on the kind of content we want to help you guys understand. We've had great brainstorming moments because we're just trying to help you guys get to the point that we got to, which we
Yeah.
struggled and we don't want you to struggle. That's what we have this podcast for, so that you can take these little gold nuggets and apply them as often and as quick as you can, along with the caveat of knowing that you have to keep failing in order to
Yeah.
know where you're going. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's just part of it. There's
It's
a
so
faster
true.
way, but we don't do that quick, fast stuff. We do that
Mhm.
long term. This is going to be our future life, for the rest of our lives. So definitely that was my thing, my takeaway, I would say, from the last 2025.
Yeah. And Speaking of that, we're overthinkers.
Heck yeah.
You and I both, and audience listener, I know if you look in that mirror right now, you're probably like, "Dang, I do overthink so much."
Yep.
And I have realized that the less I think about the what am I going to say? What am I going to do? What am I going to edit? Right? You have to have a structure. You have to have education and the know-how of what you're doing. But
Hmm.
the less I overthink my content, the better it performs. And I've been testing this because I've been posting things just randomly, shot off the hip, and they every time have gotten great views and great engagement. I have to constantly remind myself to stop freaking overthinking, but this is my message to you, folks. Stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. And maybe that's our circle hack. Maybe that is the circle hack of the day is
Yeah.
take a step back,
Yep.
take a deep breath, and stop overthinking it. Here's why. You post the content and it doesn't perform well. What are you going to do, Jennifer? You're going to look at the content,
Yeah. Analyze it. What
analyze it,
happened?
you're going to figure out what went wrong, and you're going to try it again.
Yeah. That's marketing in a
Repetition.
nutshell.
Facts.
Repetition and doing it over until you can. I think one of the things from my studying other content creators, how they've achieved the, I'll say virality, but I would also say the success that I
Mm,
want to have. Looking at what they've done and studying their formula and their pattern. That's been the key to
mhm,
finding what works well. And going into my own content, our account that we started recently on our social circle page on Instagram, we are constantly looking at the analytics. And that's the biggest thing when we were starting out, me personally, that I did not do. I did not study any of the the background noise, the research part. I just honestly, guys, I stared at what other people did, thinking, well, it worked for them, it should work for me.
yeah.
Uh-uh.
Yeah,
Not how
same.
it works.
And we talk about that all the time
Yes.
on here because we're guilty
Facts.
of
Yeah.
that. We're guilty of thinking that if we can do the same thing, like, and we'll be just as successful. But that's not the case because everybody's different. Everybody's path is different. Everybody's journey is different. We could all be selling the same thing, but we should all be doing it differently in our own way.
Exactly. We need to see what works well as far as a form, but also keep your you included.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what sets you apart, which I had the hardest time. I'll say this forever. I did not understand Candace when she said, "You are the brand." I'm like, well, what kind of brand am I? Because I don't know me. That took me time to figure out. I had to make a lot of those mistakes and I had to work through those to figure it out. I'm still doing that. I'm not where I would like to be with my content, but that's the name of this game, right? You got to keep trying, you got to keep testing. One of our discussions a while ago earlier this year was about you take what works and you retest it over and over again so that you know 100% that is a golden winner for yourself for you to
Yeah.
redo and make it easier on yourself, and you don't always have to create brand new content. That's another thing.
You're right. And we talked about it with Trevin
Mhm.
about doing series and repetition. And I said that you don't need 70 new ideas. You need to
No.
do the one thing that was working that the audience liked and just repeat it in different ways.
Yep. Yep. Good example. If you want to go right now and check out this creator, The Social Dad, I
Oh
think his
yeah.
first name is Mason or Matt, maybe Mason Smith, I think. He is a exact example of what we mean when we say do the same thing that works over and over again. If you go binge his content, you will see every reel starts with POV, quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote, point of view. You're a dad, you're a husband, you're a blah. He does a very good job with his editing skills. He has perfected those over time. He has gotten his hooks to be just, okay, we know something's coming up when he starts out with POV, you're a. Those are the patterns and the formula that I'm talking about. When you go and study another creator, that's the kind of thing you got to check out. That's what we've talked about in earlier podcasts. It's all of inside of our community as well. We go into those breakdowns. Go check his page out because he does great work with his content.
You're right. He's great. And last week's pod, we talked about Maggie McGew, I think is
Another
her
one.
name. Another
Yeah.
one. Another one. And I was kind of binging her content while I was editing last week's pod. And I noticed that she did that. If you scroll down, she tried different things and then she
Yeah.
found the ones that stuck. And that's what she's doing. And that's what this is about. That's why I say stop overthinking.
Mm-hmm.
Stop worrying about creating 70 new pieces of content because you're going to burn yourself out. Trust and believe because
Trust.
I've done it. I
It's
have
a real
done
thing.
it.
Yes. It
And
is definitely something you want to avoid for your own mental health because that's going to make you want to quit faster. Don't go down that road.
yeah, you need to have a content library. Like Jennifer always says, 100 pieces of content. However many pieces that is for you, we recommend at least 100
Get
because you're
started
not
with
going to
that. Yeah.
have accurate data to look through unless you try. And you know what? You're going to post reels and they're going to flop.
Yes,
And
they
that's okay. It's a test. Everything is a test. Why did it flop? Look at it from the outside in instead of the inside out when you're creating it. You want to know, well, why did they stop watching at this point? Look at those analytics. What made them drop off at the
hmm
halfway point? What made them not save it if that was your CTA or share it or whatever? Those are the things that are crucial to you understanding why that piece of content didn't perform well and how you can make it better.
I totally agree with that. And I think that's something that I'm hoping if you've been an avid listener for the last 30 episodes, you kind of already have heard us talk about this. If you're brand new, it's imperative, guys, that you put that in play for yourself. Don't continuously try making new content. Try testing for 14 days.
Yeah.
And in that span of 14 days, see which reel or short form or whatever piece of content you created got the most reaction you wanted, right? The best engagement you wanted, the most views, whatever. Turn that into a test and tweak it. Try and change something. I think one of the big things that gets kind of lost in translation are hooks. How can I
Mhm.
speak to my audience so that they get me or so that I get the answer they've been looking for? Again, that falls into research. You have to go and find that information by looking at other creators who are doing what you want to be doing. You want to have that audience. You got to go see what that audience is asking inside that creator's account. The very simple, like I said, we've talked about this all year long. This is just a recap. So definitely consider those things coming into the new year 2026. It's not a lost game. You can
Mm-mm.
always recover. No account is dead. You
Yeah.
can start as many accounts as you want to. We had an associate who had done that for an entire year. I think every 3 months it was a new account, new account, new account. Never any improvement in content, never any
Oh,
improvement in whatever their subject matter was. It was always the same exact kind of thing. And that didn't help at all. In fact, it turned that person away from what they started trying to do into some other venue, right? They were changing up entirely, which is great. It worked for them.
yeah.
But the point being, don't just think that because after 7 days you don't get a million views that it's time to quit or start a new account. Your account's dead, you're shadow banned. That's all a
Oh,
lie.
yeah. There is no such thing as a shadow ban. I'm
No,
sorry, but there's not. It's your content.
it's all
It's
your
your
content.
content. You're not shadow banned. Hey, I have, I'm on this roller coaster right now with my Instagram account where I'm gaining as many followers as I'm losing. Like I have plateaued because I'm doing a lot of testing. So I went into it knowing that this may happen. You have to have expectation management when you can't expect to hit the nail on the head every time. Now, I know which ones I could post that would bring me back up, the ones that do. But I don't want to do that. I'm testing and I'm trying new things, right? That's what I did in
Mhm.
January. So it's all about getting better. And I highly believe that if you go into that with expectation management, like I'm going to test these things, I'm probably going to lose some followers. I'm probably going to not have a good reel or the reel might flop. But if you go into it with that, then it's like, okay, I'm not disappointed.
You become more inquisitive. Hopefully
Yeah.
that's the end result. Well, why? That was my aha moment was, okay, well, is it this reason? Is it that reason? I've studied this amount of information. Now, have I applied that information? Have I actually developed my skill? So it all just takes time. Like I said, you can't walk into this thinking it's going to happen overnight. It will not. It will take time.
Mhm.
I think most of the mentors we've learned from have taken multiple, but beyond 3, beyond 5 years to reach their desired success where they are today. So it will all take time. The thing is, and I love what Trevin was mentioning from our last podcast episode was, you have to just constantly keep pushing through the bad. You
Yep.
have to constantly keep making those errors until you find out what works well. And it's true in every business. I started with trying to promote affiliate marketing and
Mhm.
be an affiliate for a course that I had purchased because I loved the course. Everything I had found in it, it was new information. It was eye-opening information. For me, I'm like, everyone in the world has to learn this skill. The thing was, what was missing from that and what I wasn't able to apply was the marketing skill. I hadn't
Yeah.
learned that skill very well. And so I had to go and educate myself more. And for whatever purposes you are using social media, infinite ideas here come into play.
Yeah.
But the thing is you can't get discouraged when it isn't going your way. Most likely, the number one thing probably is why it's not going your way is because you're in it for you, not for your
Mhm.
following that you're trying to build.
Facts.
You're
I
in it for
mean,
the money that you're going to earn in the long run. And that's what you want, clearly. However, you have to put a wall between yourself and that thought, and you have to serve people first in order. And that's something that was another aha moment was you have to figure out how to show up on social media and serve the people that you want to become a customer of your product or your service or whatever, what have you. And that was something, it just took time for me to figure that out, studying it, watching other people be successful doing it, and be like, okay, well, now I got to do that for me.
yep. And the less you overthink, the more you study your audience, your content, right? The
Yep.
better you're gonna get. So
Oh, yeah.
don't give up. Don't
Definitely
give
not.
up. I mean, and I can promise you there have been times in this year that I have texted our group chat and said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I
It's
don't,
too
it's
much.
not fun anymore. But I got through that and I'm back to fun again. And it just takes time and again, less overthinking, which always brings me back to the number one thing, mindset.
It's
It's
huge.
it's
It's a huge
all
play.
about
Yeah.
your mindset, and then your community of people, whether it's one person, whether it's five people, whether it's a group, whether it's the social circle VIP, come on over with us, whatever it is that you find, having those two things have kept me afloat
Mm-hmm.
for
I
sure.
agree. I agree.
What do you think is your biggest surprise from this year?
Ooh, good question.
Here's mine,
Yeah.
the repetition part.
Yeah.
And here's what, like, I knew that that was important, right? That's marketing. It's literally the definition
Yeah.
of putting things on repeat, right? And saying
Yeah.
it in different ways.
Yeah.
But I think that that was the most shocking thing for me in all of my research that I've done, which we've
Yeah.
talked about before. If people are, some of the creators, they're doing a speaking video, they always start it the same way. If they're showing and educating, they're always in the same place. And I promise you, I have looked at Amazon reviews, people that are putting reviews on Amazon, same thing. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it does not matter. It's a relatability for your
Mm-hmm.
audience to deeper understand you. They look forward to hearing that or seeing that location. And I mean, I'm talking the people we've looked at that do that consistently are in the millions.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the millions of followers. Though that and the people that aren't afraid to be completely vulnerable. The people that aren't afraid to throw themselves out there, no matter the good, the bad, the ugly, you're going to get, because you have to remember not everybody's going to like your content. And not everybody's going to comment nice things in your content.
I think
But
something from what you're saying, one of the probably like best, I would say the best light bulb moment that I'd heard was when you are responding to a comment that is undesirable for you. You, the person that made the video, you're taking offense to it on a personal level. You got to remind yourself that your account is not for you. Your
mm,
account that you are working so hard to create that content for is for your customer, your future sale. And anyone who reads those comment is going to read whatever you respond with. So you got to make those comments speak out to your integrity, your honesty, however you feel about a certain topic. Not, I know there's creators out there that just love to take digs at the people taking digs at them, and that's fine. That's their shtick. But I found that the more honest someone is with the whole picture rather than just the one little fart in the wind
yeah.
comment, I would say go with that idea. Make your comment be readable for the entire group of people watching, not just for the one person who didn't care to take time. They're just a keyboard warrior. They just want to bring you down because they're in a place that is not okay. And whatever, right? Many
Yeah.
reasons why so many people comment in such a bad, negative way. Leave a little light online. That's how I feel
Yeah.
when I'm posting content and I see, and that was a thing for a while on TikTok. I had to hop off TikTok for a bit, but there was so many negative comments on TikTok. I'm like, you know what? You are clearly sad. This is not for you, and I don't want you here. And that's
Yeah.
okay. You can also come at it at that way as well, is that
Hmm.
this kind of reaction is also a good thing. You can attract an audience and you can also repel the audience because
Yep.
ultimately you're going to find your people through how you are as just you. I'd heard it from you and from so many other people so many times, but it hit me one day and I'm just like, huh,
Yeah, and
that's
I love me
true.
a good troll. You know that. The trolls are what bring they bring engagement. And if you are mentally strong enough, and I understand that not everyone is, and I'm not knocking anybody for that. You can block them just as easily as you can comment.
Mm,
Easy
yep.
day, block them. But if you comment back with this in mind, that you're not responding to that troll or that person that's making the crappy comment, you're responding to everybody else that's going to come and look at that crappy comment and then see how you responded to it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's been key for me, for us in the growth of our YouTube, in the growth of my Instagram, because there are people out there, there are just crappy humans out there. And there's bots that are all there to stir it up.
Yeah,
Like
they
that's what they do. So if you can remember that I'm not going to respond to this jerk, I'm going to respond to the hundreds or thousands of other people that are going to read what he wrote, and then they're going to want to see what I said. And
yeah,
that's how you bring in more of your people when
yep.
they agree with how you responded. I
Love it.
mean, that's been clutch in a lot of our content because people have an opinion on what we're
Oh,
saying, whether about
nobody's
marriage
gonna,
or kids or
yeah.
whatever.
You're not gonna please everyone online, so
No.
stop trying. Give in.
Yeah.
Don't try that anymore. It's just not good.
No, it's not good at all.
It's just not good. I don't know what else to say. It's just not good. Stop trying.
Oh gosh.
One other myth I want to add to this. One other myth is that shadow banning is not a thing. We have got to stop this shadow banning crap because it is a scare tactic someone is using to get you to buy something they're trying to sell. Rather than trying to actually teach you how to do something, they're just trying to scare you into doing whatever they are asking of you. And you have to remember that these social media accounts that you create, whatever platform you're choosing, It is an algorithm, yes. It is a computer that you are working with, yes. It is also a human connection through a screen to another human. You have to speak to the human using that screen in front of you in whatever form you're using it. You have to remind yourself that consistency is king when it comes
Mhm.
to content creation. You cannot say, well, it's not working for me after having taken 3 weeks off of not posting one single piece of content on any social media that you're trying to build up. You can't just sit there and say, well, the Instagram hates me. I'm shadow banned because I'm only getting 37 reel. Yeah, you're only going to get 37 views on a reel if you're not posting every single day, more than once a day. It all builds, guys, because
Yeah.
it's a compound effect. When you do all of this extra, you do all of this work, you go and research, you go and attempt, you go and make tests, you do split testing, you try different ideas, and you come back for doing it again. One of the things I've learned is that 14-day trial period for yourself.
Yeah.
See what does
Yeah,
well, and then
you do that quite a bit where you do at least
Mhm.
2 weeks to test one theory and
Yeah,
then you analyze it and move forward with that information.
because
I mean, I
I
would agree. I don't know. I
well,
don't
I'm
I
only on
haven't.
Instagram. Yeah, I'm only on one platform. I've only focused my efforts in one platform growth. You've done it on all of them, and I think
But
that's
it's
why I do it the way I do it.
I feel like every platform is kind of similar. They're all very different.
Yeah.
They're all very different. But the key things, that consistency, like you said, and just to caveat, that is your level of consistency, right? We're not telling you post 3 times a day, post 5 times a day, post every day. Like you have to find your level of consistency because that is what the algorithm and the platform is going to figure out. Oh, okay. They post every 3 days. Okay, cool. Every 3 days is your
Hmm.
norm. I mean,
Hmm.
it's your level of consistency. Jennifer at one point was posting like 20 dang reels a day.
It was a
You know,
test.
it was a test.
Yeah.
Yes. Tired. She was
It
tired.
was exhausting, but I'll tell you the thing that I learned with because I had heard someone post 100 times a day on their account. And I'm like, that's amazing for them. They clearly have individuals doing work with them. They're not just a singular person doing
Yeah.
all of that stuff. I was strictly testing to answer the question, how many times a day do you need to post consistently? That's what I
Yeah.
was testing. And from going to, one reel per day, zero stories, starting at the bare minimum basic to 20 reels that includes carousels, static posts, reels, and stories, all the whole gamut in that timeline. I realized it didn't matter that much. I didn't see that much more reach from creating more content. What I got more reach with content is tweaks to my hooks, to my videos, to the audio choices that I made. Those little things, fixing my captions, fixing my CTAs, those little tiny things that were changed over the testing period,
Yeah.
that was what I saw better growth from, more reach to other accounts from, not just simply posting the same cat eating cat food video 20 times a day. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
That
With a
does
different,
nothing
yeah.
for you. Keep in mind also, because I'm sure Instagram is already doing this, asking you if you want to boost your reel. If it did not perform very well, do not pay Instagram to repost your content for you. I just want to throw that out there. It's just a bait for Instagram to make money from you. If you're doing this organically, you're doing this without ads, that is something you don't want to step into yet until you know exactly that your formula that you create out of all this is going to work for you, but
Yeah,
don't pay for
TikTok
the
does
boost.
that too. TikTok does that too now, where they'll tell you little tips and tricks. It's like AI, like looking through your video or whatever. So if you're using TikTok, I believe it's on there too. And YouTube actually has an AI assistant now,
Ooh.
Beam, I think it's called, or something, where you can ask questions and it'll look through all of your YouTube.
I think is it just takes time to look through your own content to audit your own content. And that's
Yeah,
what I think gets more scary is, well, I didn't like it the first time. I'm not gonna like looking at it another time, but that's
right.
where you find, that's where you can see where you can take all the little things and kind of change them up a little bit. So
Yeah. And Chatty G is also a dope resource for that,
very good resource. I
helping
think my
you out.
favorite is with chat having um having the opportunity to take what worked well from different creators and make it a mashup formula for my own content, which I think is just killer. It takes
Mhm.
all of the best from the people that I'm looking at and mixes it into something where it adds in my flair and it makes a whole new thing. So it looks fresh and new. It's recycled content from other people, their format, how they did something, not copying word for word. That's a whole other conversation. And if you're afraid of AI content, don't be. You have to learn to work with it just as much as you have to work with the platform you're choosing to post your content to. I think Gary Vee says it all the time. Chat GPT does not work against me. I work with it. And
Mhm.
he can whole Gary Vee spiel and come up with some amazing piece of content just from talking to chat and chat giving him exactly what he's asking for because he knows he's been doing this for billions of years now. So he knows how to market well and use a tool to produce something even better for him. And that's just your
Mhm.
goal. That should be your goal anyway when you're
Yeah.
trying to use ChatGPT. Or I have not done AI, but you did it for a while. The baby videos
Yeah.
on our
Yeah.
account, which I loved. We got to go back and do some of those because those were
I
adorable.
know.
But
Well,
that
you got to put
AI was
tags on all your AI stuff now. Like all the platforms are
okay.
making you put tags and stuff on the AI and it gets lower views.
Really?
Right. But it goes back to that relatability to an actual person,
Yeah.
the person across the phone, and that's how you build your community.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think they're cool to throw in every once in a while, but I'm not big on the accounts that are full AI because I just don't, I can't, it's a limited connection. They're nice to
It,
see every once in a while,
if you
but
use it the way that they're because there's a creator that I was watching, steal my steal my business plan, steal my this, steal my
Mhm.
AI, all this for your own self. The thing is yeah, that's great. You can show me what you're doing, but I also need to know how you've done it so that I can determine for myself if it's worthy of stealing. I don't know exactly how you got where you got with what you did. And
Yeah,
it's a little bit scary, whatever your
right.
AI is telling you, always fact check. Don't just take everything like it's the truth because AI is not perfect. It does not say the things right. And it's just very important that you double down on knowing your information before you put it out there.
Yeah, I've had to ask Chatty G to make sure something is accurate
Mm-hmm.
multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm asking for statistics or something like that, I'm always asking him, Chatty G, to to double check the information because
Yeah.
I don't want to put out bad information. You know what I mean?
It
So,
just makes you look sloppy. That's the best analogy I have right now. So if you're afraid of AI, don't be. Learn it, try and use it and work with it and always fact check it whenever you're trying to do
mhm.
something.
Let's throw these out there. Shit that we heard from other creators that aren't freaking true, right? Shadow banning, the algorithm's out to get you. Those things are not true. Posting at certain times, that one drives me nuts. It drives
Oh,
me crazy because in the beginning, people would constantly tell us, well, you have to look at the times. You have to post at certain times. Da 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 da. That's not true. That is not true at all. You can post whenever you want. You're still going to put the content out there. And I've heard this from Instagram, I've heard it from TikTok, I've heard it from YouTube, like actual personnel that work there. Time doesn't matter. Moseri, social spotlight will be Adam Moseri, the CEO of Instagram. Every Friday, he doesn't ask me anything, folks. And if you are not following him, you should, because he breaks down things, he answers questions and then breaks them down in a way that you can understand them. And he just did one about posting times. He said it doesn't really matter. It
mm-hmm.
doesn't really matter.
And why doesn't it really matter? It's because basically your content lives 24/7, 365, unless you archive, delete, or your account is closed. There's no reason to, if you have to have it for yourself, set the schedule. If you
Yep.
have to create because of your lifestyle, because of whatever it is you're doing, set the schedule for yourself. Your audience will see your content all the time, no matter what happens. Unless you
Yep.
do something to your content that does not allow them to see it for some reason, it will be rolling through their feed constantly. I mean, I'm still seeing content from before Thanksgiving, from October. It's still there because this is why it's still there, why it still shows up from 2 months in the past, is because there is engagement. There is a
Hmm.
kinetic activity that is happening in that piece of content that has made people say, I want to see this again and again and again. And that's why good content lasts. If it's not great, yes, it will flop. Yes, it will stop. It didn't matter what time you posted it. What mattered is you made something that caught attention, that got people consistently saying something, engaging with it, or pushing it out again and again. And that's what I think gets lost, right? We don't think
Yeah.
about that kind of it. But I'm telling you, that's what's happening with your content. If it did well, if it hit millions of views, eventually after 30 days, it'll fall off and it won't be because people have seen it so many times. They're not going to engage
Yeah.
with it anymore. And that just
I
is the nature of the beast.
Great point on that is this morning I was looking through content or I was doom scrolling, drinking my coffee this morning. It's the only time I give myself to doom scroll is the 20 minutes it takes me to drink my coffee. But I was doom scrolling and reel popped up that I liked. I went to the comments. The reel was posted October 6th.
Yeah, me too.
2 months ago.
Yep.
2 months ago, right? So time, and I don't know what time they posted it. And it obviously didn't matter. If the content is good, the content will move.
Yeah. Yeah. The time of day doesn't count. Just
No.
the fact that you did something good on that day. I can't tell you how many times I've seen from, like you said, 2 months ago, a reel that again, I don't know the time of day that it posted. I only know the date and the weeks that have passed from the time that I originally saw it and liked it to seeing it again and then again and again. And that's where, again, if you're getting into this brand new and you don't know yet, set yourself the timeline so that
Hmm.
you can get your content out and form the habit. Once you form the habit, throw that schedule out.
Hmm.
Post it whenever you can. And if you're already creating content and you're still hearing about this timing, the scheduling, checking your analytics for your audience and when they're there, we're
Yep.
all checking it around the same time. Most likely, I'll be honest,
9,
Monday
12,
through
3,
Sunday.
6, and 9.
Yeah. Yeah, no
You
kidding. And
go ahead and take a look
it's
at your
not gonna,
audience's times, folks, and I guarantee you they are around those times.
they're all going to be about the
Everyone.
same. And so the time of day really won't make the difference. If somebody's trying to sell you that, please run the other way, or at least talk to us in the community about it, and we'll
Yeah,
we'll look it through with you, and we'll point it out why it didn't matter. I'm so desperate to
absolutely.
prove that point because honestly, that's what I've learned. And from posting 20 pieces of content a day,
And
um,
auditing multiple people. We've
clustering and
audited
auditing, yeah,
multiple accounts
no
for
kidding.
people and just for ourselves. We've done hundreds of audits this year on
Yeah.
content, and time doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't, guys. I can say I've posted, broken my 20 reels into posting 5 reels 4 times a day. And the 4 times a day is 4 times or 5 times in an hour in that timeline. So honestly, it didn't make a difference the time, the second, the minute when I posted something. It made a difference what I did with my video, the physicalities of it, right?
Yeah,
Everything that we talked about before, that's what matters. So don't put so much focus on that schedule. If you're hung up on that, like I said before, get it in your system so it's a habit that you can just post
yep,
and feel okay. Once you're okay with that, throw that out. You don't need to have a posting time schedule. It does not hurt or help. It's just
right.
something somebody else is trying to sell. I'm promising you to get you into whatever it is they have. What matters for your content is the research and the effort and the focus that you put into each piece of reel to make it perform at its best so that no matter when or what time, it'll hopefully come back around again eventually. That's the goal.
Absolutely. One more thing that I hate, and then we'll move on. One
Yeah.
more thing that I hope goes away in 2026 is people's freaking income claims. I
Dear
cannot
Lord, agree.
stand. I cannot stand when I go to a creator's account and every other video is how much money they made. How much money they made. Cool. You made all that money. But a lot of them, in my experience personally, not teach you what you need to know. They can't teach you what you need to know because they don't even know. That's why they put out the income claims every freaking reel. And I know this for a fact because I've had them as mentors before and they couldn't answer our questions. And that is why we created the Social Circle VIP. That is why inside the VIP circle, we have everything that we've learned in the last 3 years. And the other thing that we do inside the VIP circle that others don't is we don't BS you. We don't tell you you have to post 3 times a day. You have to post at these times. You need to use this trending audio. That's not what we do because we've done all that. We've tried it.
Right.
We've tested it. We could probably give you a dissertation on why it doesn't work. And a lot
I
of that is in the community inside of the classroom, but
totally
just take things that you hear from these people that post income claims that claim to,
question everything.
yeah, question it. And when they can't answer it, that's when you know you're in the wrong place.
Yep.
That's
I would
exactly
say
what happened to me.
I
That's how
agree
I
with
knew I
that.
was in the wrong place.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It's watching them say how much they've done with their sales. It's just a freaking boast. It's just to boost their own ego. It's a tactic. It's a marketing tactic that they learned because it gets attention. It's clickbait.
Yep.
And if you don't know what clickbait is, it's essentially seeing the cockroach on the screen trying to hit the cockroach when it's a pest control commercial. You're you're interested, like why the fuck is bug on my screen? And you're trying
That's
to
so
beat your
true.
screen to death, and then the commercial flips off to the Charmin teddy bears wiping their butts with the fuzz. Like it's all just clickbait when you see the income claims, and it's because they learned early on that that is attention that
Yep.
gets them reaction.
More
So
income.
it's yeah, it eventually gets them more income, but then on the back end of that more income is more refunds, more returns, more, negativity saying I didn't learn anything that they promised. And
Right.
that's not a lie. That's just
That's
us experiencing these things
because we've
ourselves.
lived it. Yeah, we've lived it.
And
So,
I want you guys to be aware, it's the end of the year. There's going to be a lot of sales for people trying to boost their own, egos, sales, whatever.
yeah,
Look out for that kind of stuff. You notice we don't have that content because we try to teach a skill that you can apply and use it. Because if it's in here, you can't steal that. You can
yeah.
use this over and over and over again. I can take a screenshot and I can post it from anywhere. I can see I had just watched another popular creator right now, June Yoon,
Oh,
who
I love
is
him.
advertising. I love him as a creator. He's a great teacher, amazing business person. He is actually showing the proof in the pudding where he posted his reel and then he posted someone else who did a reel similar and actually used his content in their reel. And he pointed it out and he said, this I don't care about. What I care about is the fact that they didn't actually take the lesson that I was trying to teach. They just did something that worked and they think that that's going to keep them going instead of
Yeah.
actually learning the behind the scenes how to and don't have an income to make or talk about right now. Don't talk about the income. Talk about the experience that you've
The
gone
journey.
through, the journey, the thing that you want to help someone with. Help walk them through it in your account. So
Absolutely.
definitely always question those income claims because
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times it's all copy and paste from somebody else's account.
Yep. And I mean, earlier this year, there were people putting out fake Stripe and like all those things that show how much you make PayPal. They were fake.
Oh yeah, that's sad.
They were
It's
fake
just
earlier this year.
desperation.
So just
It screams
take it with a
desperation.
grain of
And
salt.
if you buy into that, shame on you, you know?
I mean,
Sorry
we
to be
did.
honest. I
I
did it.
did.
Shame on you. I did it more than once. And I learned my freaking lesson that it is your level of effort that earns
Mm-hmm.
your keep. So I don't know how else to explain that part, but the
Yeah.
work that you do, the effort you put into it is what you end up getting in the long run. So
Yeah.
please be very wary right now around the holidays, around all of these sales that you're going to start seeing. More income claims. Why do you need to? Because you didn't
Right.
learn how to do anything else,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I agree. I hate it. I despise it because I know that there are so many people that are going to be disappointed in a couple of months
Yep.
when they go through some of these coaches or so-called coaches. But
Right.
that's why we're here. That's why we do this. That's why we're so real with you. That's why we don't do any of that BS. We want to help you grow faster and cheaper than we did, right? We've spent the money, we've spent the time
Yep.
doing multiple things. We haven't taken one path and just done it the same way. We've tried multiple things, and that's why we're here. That's why we keep doing this podcast. That's why we have our free community because we want to help you guys just get there faster. I would say is the best way. We can't promise you'll be a millionaire. We're not millionaires yet. We can't promise you anything other than we'll be honest and we won't try and tell you a bunch of fake crap.
I agree. I think we're here obviously for the long term here. We want to see you guys succeed, like you said, Candace. And I think that's what got me excited about this in the beginning was being able to go out, learn what I'm learning, and then go and teach someone else to learn it or do with it what they will to help them succeed in whatever goals that they have. And coming into this I'm actually glad that we had this conversation today. This is a very good one, I feel like, because you can pivot all you want to, but if you didn't actually study a craft and learn it and master that skill, to take it to the next level for yourself,
Hmm.
it's really just a waste of your time,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So don't let yourself get so distracted. If you have so many distractions that are just bringing all levels of bad around you, cut the distractions. That's been the biggest thing that I've learned was to stop
Hmm.
looking at and listening to all of the negative, the wrong things that were just making me not feel good
Yeah.
and focusing on
Facts.
rebuilding my own how I want to show up, all of those things. Mindset, number one. Biggest
Yep.
piece of that is, I know I need to earn an income from what I am doing on my computer, but I also know that I have another way to make income. So this is not the end all be all. If it doesn't work out, I can try something else. So it's just keep at it
Yeah.
and definitely question, a lot of what you see. Cut it off if it's bothering you. It's okay to block some of that stuff too. Very easy to do. Just tell Instagram, all of the social medias that you're on, unfollow, not interested, all that good stuff.
That stuff will mess with your mindset. It
Yes,
will
it
mess
does.
with your mindset. I had to get rid of that stuff last year at
Yeah.
the 2024 because it wasn't good for me at all. And as soon as I embraced creating content the way I wanted to with the skills that I had learned, it's just much easier and the content is better.
Guys.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind too. If your heart is not in what you're doing, then you need to step back and think about what you're trying to do versus what you really need to do.
Yeah. And we're closing out this year with a bang. So next week we're going to be talking mindset big time. So make sure you check out that episode. Hopefully we have one more social sit down before the end of the year.
I'm so excited for
Surprise
the next one.
guest.
I cannot
Um,
wait.
but if you guys want to connect with us,
We are on Instagram at the Social Circle VIP, and I would love to see you guys join us in either of those communities or on our Social Circle VIP on school platform. And we would love to have you guys share your opinions, your thoughts. If you got something to say, let us know it. I'd like to talk with you about it because I'm just a talker,
yeah,
and
me too.
I want to figure it out with you. You have anything to comment? Definitely leave that in the comments below on this podcast in any of our content that you find online. If this episode kind of moved you in sort of a way, please share it with somebody else thinking about the same things that you are. If you need a buddy to go along with all of what you're trying to do, we're big in the buddy system inside of our community as well. That's why we have it. We want to support you in this journey because this is hard. This is not something that you just walk into willy-nilly.
No matter what the people that throwing income claims say, it's not as easy as post it and forget it. Like,
Not at all.
yeah,
It
you
takes
got to
work,
put
it
in
takes
some work.
effort. You got to figure it out. And that's what we're here for. That's why we have our community. Take a look in there. And again, if you want more episodes like this one, hit subscribe. Make sure you are following us on our socials. We will be sharing more tips like all of today, which I loved. And I hope you guys loved it too, as much as I did.
I loved it too. And I love you, Jennifer, and
I
our
love
audience
you.
again. It's our 30th
So
episode.
glad. So glad. It feels good. It was so
It
scary to
does.
get started with this podcast. I'm so excited. We're 30 episodes in. Like, look at us crushing it. I'm proud of us.
Me too. And we're proud of you guys. So make sure that you let us know where we can help you and hit that
Yes.
subscribe button. And have a great week.
Have a great week, everybody.